Welcome to the 5K 50 Project. Today coming to you from the mouth of Little Cottonwood Canyon, and on today's episode, Alpe d'Huez prep, segment of the day, and training with Strava. Stay tuned. In about a month, I'm headed over to France on a trip with my wife, and among other things, we'll be headed over to the French Alps. And my plan right now is to bike up Alpe d'Huez, the famous Alpe d'Huez climb that's been used in the Tour de France many times. And so I am on a month-long preparation to climb that hill. The Alpe d'Huez climb is about 8 miles long, and in that 8 miles you gain about a little over 3,000 feet of elevation. So on today's training ride, I have gone about 9 miles, but I've only climbed about 1,000 feet from my house up to the mouth of Little Cottonwood Canyon. So you can tell that climb at Alpe d'Huez a lot steeper and very consistent, about 8, 9, 10% the whole way up. So I have a little bit of training to do. My training plan is pretty simple. Do about 2 or 3 climbs a week, trying to get some practice climbing in. Number 2, lose some weight. Climbing is all about your power to weight ratio. So if I can lose a little bit of weight between now and October, mid-October, that'd be great. And then number 3, and probably most important, is on Zwift. They have the Alpe du Zwift, which is the exact same profile, length and elevation gain as the Alpe d'Huez. And so I want to try to climb that at least once, maybe twice, before I get to France. So stick with me this month and we'll see how my Alpe d'Huez training goes. Today we're here on Wasatch Boulevard, probably one of the most popular cycling routes for people here in Salt Lake Valley. Runs all the way along the East Bench from north to south, and so it's just a great cycling route, has a nice big bike lane, and just great terrain. It's also very busy, as you can see all the cars coming by it, and I've seen probably a couple dozen cyclists on it this morning. So today's segment is actually the main hill climb, kind of at the south end of Wasatch Boulevard, but it was too dark to show it to you coming up, and so we'll video it heading down. Okay, it's now a couple days after the first half of this video. Had a quick work trip to New York. Had a couple good little urban hikes while I was on that trip, but we're back now. Just got done with another little river trail ride with Heather, but she went home. I'm just on my way back. But the second half of this video, I want to talk a little bit about Strava segments. So segments on Strava, you can make your own, or there's millions of segments on Strava, and using those as a training tool. So one of the fun things I like to do is pick out a few segments, generally uphill or slightly uphill segments. Don't use downhill segments too much because I'm not a crazy downhill descender, but using those uphill segments to track your progress throughout the year. So the segment I did at the first half of this video, up Wasatch Drive, I'll show you a few screenshots or maybe a little screencast of that segment and show you how I can use that as a training tool. Okay, just want to do a quick little piece here on how to use a segment to train, or how I look at them to train. So as you can see, I pulled up here a ride from earlier this week where the video started, which was a ride up Wasatch Boulevard. So you just click into that activity and you will see all of the statistics and the map as you scroll down. Here's the map of the ride, the elevation profile, and then you go down and just find the segment. Now I usually go through and star a few segments that I want to watch. So here we have the Wasatch Boulevard Hidden Valley segment that I've starred. It's 0.72 miles, 300 feet, 8% average. So we click on that segment and you can see all of the results. Here's the leaders. Most of these guys are pro riders that have 3 minutes. My best time, 5:47. You click on the full leaderboard and your results automatically pull up. So here's my recent efforts from the last few years. As you can see, I've have about 10 efforts this year so far. I was actually a little bit faster the first of the year, then I got sick and got a little slower, and so my most current efforts here. And then you can look at the leaderboards. Now the leaderboards are where I like to look for my training for segments, and I will just go to my results and I can see all my results. I can sort them by this year, and so here's all my results for the year. As you can see, my best time this year was in May, which is unusual to have my fastest time of the year. It was hanging right around about that same time till I got sick. Then my times dropped off in July and August, and here's my time from this week. September 18th, 2019 was 6:44. So how I'd use this for goal setting is say, okay, I want to get closer to my fastest time, and I would kind of watch that segment time as I rode over the next few weeks. So my goal for this segment before I head off to Europe in a month will be to ride this 2 or 3 more times. You can see my average watts, average heart rate, or the heart rate for the climb, and the speed. So I'd say, okay, I want to go closer to that 6-minute time for the year. So I need to knock off about 40 seconds, 45 seconds to get to 6 minutes. And I would just watch that over the next couple of weeks. So that's how I would like to use segments, as a little bit of a training tool. Maybe not so much as a training tool as a motivation tool. We'll see how we do over the next couple of weeks.